Yeah, this has turned into a multi-part series. Um, about a week before election, Fucker received an unexpected message. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce wanted to talk. The AFL-CIO and the chamber have long history of antagonism. Though neither organization is explicitly partisan, the influential business lobby has poured hundreds of millions of dollars into Republican campaigns, just as the nation's unions funnel hundreds of millions to Democrats. On one side is labor, on the other is management, locked in an internal struggle for power and resources. Oh, wow. Is this a deep state? Are we talking about the fucking deep state? Is that what we're fucking talking about right here? And they're just going to put it out in the fucking open because that's what they do. They don't hide what they're doing. You understand that, people? This is fucking witchcraft. Right? And magic. But behind the scenes, the business community was engaged in its own anxious discussions about how the election and its aftermath. Pardon me. Let me try that again, because I thought I missed something up there. But behind the scenes, the business community was engaged in its own anxious discussions about how the election and its aftermath might unfold. The summer's racial justice protest had sent a signal to business owners too. See? Oh my God. You know, and it's like, I need to start, like, speaking more. Because, like, this is everything, like, that I've fucking talked about, man. Everything. The summer's racial, pardon me, about how the summer's racial justice protests has sent a signal to business centers to the potential for economy disrupting civil disorder. With tensions running high, there was a lot of concern about unrest around the election. Like I said, I think I actually said it earlier in these videos. Business owners were fearing that they were gonna fucking lose their shit. And so, freaking, yeah, they're going to sway. Or break down in our normal way we handle contentious elections. I mean, that's the thing is you create fear on the streets. Who wants to stay open? Like, I mean, like, it ruins lives. Like, and some people just don't care, right? And the thing is, God bless them, right? I wish I could be like that. You know, and the thing is, like, but I can't, you know, because I'm fucked up in the head. And you know, the thing is that if I know that they're freaking enjoying their lives, they're not hurting nobody with their lives, then that's fucking beautiful. Let me do all their work for them, you know, like their other work. They're gonna work for themselves. They're freaking motivated. They're ambitious. They're survivors. You know, they're keeping the race going, the human race going. You know, and it's like, okay, well, freaking, they're making my life easier because you know of their contribution. Why can't I do something? You know, it's like without the taxpayer, I wouldn't have. Uh, I wouldn't be where I am, who I am. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be me. I mean, maybe that's a fucking good thing. You know, but you know, like, but you know, and like that's the way I look at it. They're not hurting anybody, and they're not trying to hurt me, and you know, it's just they just want to get along, and that's perfect. Um, and they want their privacy. They want to, you know, they're not doing anything freaking bad. With tensions, fuck the potential for economy disrupting civil disorder. With tensions running high, there was a lot of concern about unrest around the election or a breakdown in our normal way we handle contentious elections. Neil Bradley, the Chamber's executive vice president and chief policy officer. These worries have led the Chamber to release a pre-selection statement with the Business Roundtable, a Washington-based CEOs group. Oh wow, freaking so we got the technocrats involved because of Dorsey and fucking fuck, and then these corporations, fascism. What's the name of it this time? It's just being called democracy. I mean, there's freaking fuck. Group, as well as Association of Manufacturers, Wholesalers, and Retailers, calling for patience and confidence as votes were counted. But Bradley wanted to send a broader, more bipartisan message. He reached out to fucker through an intermediary, both men declined to name, agreeing that their unlikely alliance, because that person is probably Pelosi, unlikely alliance would be powerful. And they began to discuss a joint statement pledging their organization's shared commitment to a fair and peaceful election. They chose their words carefully and scheduled the statement's release for maximum impact. As it was finalized, Christian leaders signaled their interest in joining it, further broadening its reach. Sorry, just in case you're just hitting this one, I've got heartburn. And it's tomato sauce. I'm getting old. But I've been saying for a while, Pelosi's a witch. That Sasky bitch is a witch. Friggin' Sasky is trying to become like the next Nancy Pelosi. Notice how they're very fucking similar. And they both talk about fucking nothing and talk with their hands and friggin', try to... No, they're fucking... No, they're no good. Cortez, witch. Hillary Clinton, witch. And, just because those, I'm not, being a chauvinist or, like women hater or whatever else. Those are, because it's a matriarchy. I mean, it's all about, it's women, like the Statue of Liberty and such, right? It's about that, feminine, masculine, right? Or that masculine, feminine side. Like it's, because the males, they are the lawyers and stuff, and they're the ones that come off like powerful, and they use this legalese. Like I said, it's their own language. Do you understand when a cop says that? It's not do you comprehend. It's do you stand under my command? All right. Like there's more meaning to these things when they speak in legalese, and that's why there's a very like when you have you can tell different lawyers just due to the way they write. Anyways, we call on media, the candidates, and the American people to exercise patience with the process and trust in our system, even if it requires more time than usual. Trust is a dirty word that comes from such a liar, but respect is something I will earn if you have faith. Like a tattoo, making your mascara bleed, tears on your face, leaving traces of my mistakes. If I say, we go to church with me on Sunday, we go with me on Friday night. If you lose me, I'll die for you in this compromise. I kind of butchered that a little bit, but the groups had it. Although we may not always agree on desired outcomes up and down the ballot, we are united in our call for the American democratic process to proceed without violence, intimidation, or any other tactic that makes us weaker as a nation. So what they're saying there is we're going to halt things. Like they call back the violence because when was this? They didn't really say. But, they pulled it back and everything. They scaled it back before the elections. And notice how they're making a big deal over the fucking rigged insurrection. Showing up, standing down. Election night began with many Democrats despairing. Trump was running ahead of pre-election polling, winning Florida, Ohio, Texas easily, and keeping Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania too close to call. But fucker was unperturbed. When I spoke to him that night, The returns were exactly in line with his modeling. He had been warning for weeks that Trump voters' turnouts was surging. As the numbers dribbled out, he could tell that as long as all the votes were counted, Trump would lose. I'm sorry, I need to take a break right from there. Right after I read that. That's too much. And hold on a second. I had to turn on my GPS. I was wondering why my phone was hot and my battery's dying fast. The Liberal Alliance gathered for an 11 p.m. Zoom call. Hundreds joined. Many were freaking out. It was really important for me and the team in that moment to help ground people in what we already had known was true. That's magic. That's fucking. That's witches. That's freaking psychic energy. That's freaking. People use the fucking spells. And freaking. They used magic to manipulate reality. Do you understand fucking witchcraft yet? It was really important for me and the team. Says Angela Peoples. What a fucking fucked up name. Director for the Democracy Defense Coalition. Fucker presented data to show the group that victory was in hand. How? How? Election fraud. While he was talking, excuse me, News was surprised by everyone calling Arizona for Biden. The public awareness campaign had worked. TV anchors were bending over backward to counsel caution and frame the vote count accurately. The question then became what to do next. They got this, and now they don't know what to do because the conversation that followed was a difficult one, led by activists charged with the protest strategy. Hold on a second. Because of these campaigns, and they were throwing around all this fucking money, you're going into these freaking, poor neighborhoods, and you start, throwing $1,000 checks to people. Start giving them their own stimulus money, right? And that's the thing is, people on the streets, they, they keep shit tight. I mean, it's not like they're gonna get caught. And friggin', but like Raquel Rodriguez, she was one of them. That's the damn thing. That's where this comes in line. Is that we got one of these people who's doing thousands of votes, hundreds of thousands of votes, right? Just one person, and we're talking about freaking groups. And no one's up in arms. Why do you think there's fucking the damn National Guard up in D.C.? Because their fucking magic's fucking wearing the fuck off. Absolutely. It's wearing the fuck off. And people are like, wow, we were under a fucking spell, weren't we? A Nazi spell. Just like my people, the Gudice. Ethnic Germans. Like fucking, I'm one of the first ethnic minority, I'm one of the first minorities to receive refugee status, for being, like, my family, like, I'm second generation. So, it's like this shit, like the spell plagues, man. This goes into Operation Paperclip. The Nazi fucking, these are Nazi experiments and shit. I'm telling you, like, people just don't fucking listen. Melania Trump might actually be Gudice. The New Yorker did a thing on that. So she might be a friggin' cousin of mine. I mean, our people, went up to 40,000 at its best, but you know, only about 20,000 of us were left after World War II, and we got displaced. You know, like pretty much, the lands of Czechoslovakia. You know, that's why I like. Uh, anyways, you know, the conversation that followed was a difficult one, led by the activists charged with the protest strategy. We want to be mindful of when was the right time to call for moving masses of people into the street. People says, as much as they were eager to mount a show of strength, mobilizing immediately could backfire and put people at risk. Protests that devolved into violent clashes would give Trump a pretext to send federal agents or troops, as he had over the summer, and rather than elevate Trump's complaints by continuing to fight. The alliance wanted to send the message that the people had spoken. Not that people have been manipulated, that they didn't speak for themselves. So the word went out, stand down. And see, this is a different form of cyber warfare as well. Um, this is like the physical. This gets physical, and so because like it brings the cyber acts to real life, but it's still it's virtual reality. Like people understand fucking virtual reality, and this is part of it is the manipulation. You know, like um, being able to create trends like cut for Bieber. You know, like what? you know, um, people are fucking simple. Excuse me. So we're going to stand down, protect the results, and that would not be activating the entire national mobilization network today. Their military, but remains ready to activate if necessary. Kind of like the National Guard, eh? On Twitter, outraged progressives wondered what was going on. Why wasn't anyone trying to stop Trump's coup? Where were all the protests? Fucker, credits the activists for their restraint. They had spent much time getting ready to hit the streets on Wednesday. Why do you think everything was fucking boarded up? But they did it. He says Wednesday through Friday. How much money was put out? Because all that fucking money I'm more than certain there was over $1 billion that was spent during this time. I'm more than certain of that. Because think about all that friggin' stimulus money. Think about all that stimulus money that came out with the COVID. And it really makes one think. If they were doing all this, then it makes COVID fucking a very plausible thing. And especially, play Resident Evil and stuff. Freaking watch the movie and whatever else. There's the T virus. And, everything's all electronically controlled. If we can shut down power plants, hack the Pentagon, why can't we hack a biological weapon manufacturer? Right? And we're talking about some black hats, right? He says Wednesday through Friday there was not a single Antifa versus Proud Boys incident like everyone was expecting. And when that didn't materialize, I don't think the Trump campaign had a backup plan. And so Antifa and the Proud Boys, they are one and the same. They are one and the same. They're fucking. They're a hoax. That's why I don't belong in groups. I don't go in groups. I never belonged in a group. Besides Pajuki Circus. Activists reoriented to protect the results of protest toward a weekend of excuse me. Activists reoriented the Protect of the Results protest toward a weekend of celebration, countering their disinfo with our confidence. Shite. And, sorry, I made a mess. Hold on. Alright, activists reoriented to protect the results toward. Let me just, end this here. I'm going to start another one.